Hello, people. I make you welcome to my 2 cents with Igwe Henry, and let's take a look at the trendiest events happening in Nigeria. And as we speak, the local council elections is ongoing in Abuja. A battle between the protagonist and the antagonist, a battle between the actor and the boss. And who is the actor at this point, and who is the boss at this point? It's quite unfortunate that in Nigeria we have rewritten the way politics should be played. We have rewritten the way democracy should be practiced. If Nigeria were running a monarchy system of government where the papa takes center stage, hands over to his very corrupt child, his corrupt child hands it over to another corrupt grandchild, and on and on and on, it would have been a different case. That is monarchy. Okay, but for the fact that we practice democracy, the rules of engagement, yes, it is more of a participatory system of government where people are allowed to come vie alongside other people and have Nigerians living in that place come select whom they think is the best candidate for them. That is how democracy works. In Ghana, for example, they have two major political parties. If one party is not doing well, the people go and vote for the other party. No rancor, no INEC glitch, no beavers wahala, no e-transmission versus manual transmission. What the vote says is what it is. The votes are counted. Nothing is done. No ballot box snatching, no disenfranchisement. Go back to your state and vote. They don't do any of that. And little wonder Ghana has one of the most successful democracy in Africa. How about the giant, so-called giant or ant of Africa called Nigeria? That is not practiced. A situation where the FCT minister is threatening people, harassing people, members of his own former political party, not to participate in the elections, coercing them not to be part of the elections, and stating that anyone who does not support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would equally not get his support. Is that democracy that we're practicing? Is that not monarchy system of government? Because democracy is the will of the people. If you as an actor, you do well, you do not need to work so hard to get people to love you. By default, people will love you. But a situation where you did not do well, you are one of the most hated political leader. And because of that, people say they would not vote for anything connected to you. Rather than go ask yourself, what can I do to get it better? You went back and started threatening people. What does that mean? Is that a definition of democracy at a time like this? One thing God will never be involved in is our choices as human beings. When you are brought into the world, it was done in a very clean slate. No affinity to anything. As you grow up from a child to become a teenager, to become a young adult, to become an adult, it is your responsibility to decide where you intend to be, either to be a protagonist or to be an antagonist. And when you select to become an antagonist and you hope that people will love you for being an antagonist, how does that work? When as a leader you came into as a leader on a clean slate, it is your responsibility in the first time in office to ensure that the people who are admiring you, the people who are bystanders and spectators, love the way you lead them. But you consciously decide to be wicked, you consciously decide to be nepotistic, you consciously decide to be a bigot, you consciously decide to allow for unnecessary sort of politics, and you expect that spectators will love you as an antagonist with the hope that in your mind you are a protagonist. How does that work? But you know the good part. The good part is human beings are malleable. We are very malleable. Okay, we're not brittle in nature. We're malleable. Which means if an antagonist as a leader decides to be a protagonist, it's very simple. All the leader needs to do is to change the lead, is to change his character, change his behavior, begin to lead well, not focusing on himself and his family and his major political sponsors and allies. That is all he needs to do. Change from all of those things and begin to love the people, begin to love the spectators. And just before you know it, your status as an antagonist would gradually become a protagonist. And that is what it takes for people to love you. If people truly do love APC, FCT means that yes, Wike shouldn't be all over the place, making a caricature of our democracy. If people did truly love the APC, why should we be all about the place, forming the City Boys movement, forming all of this caricature of democracy with the hope that as an antagonist, that people begin to see you as a protagonist? How is it even possible? Leadership is about example. Leadership is pragmatic in nature. Leadership is practical. Leadership is tangible. When you are a good leader, people see it. People need not discover you as a leader. They will see it. But when you are not a good leader, that is when you begin to do everything possible in your power to work against nature. And you can never work against nature. Even when you do, it's just for the meantime. Just like you see people feeling the ocean, it's just for the meantime. Nature will just keep calm and watch you. But when nature wants to take back what belongs to it, it would not give you any warning. It will just go and grab it, take it, and it will run with it. That is how nature works. And when you as a human being decide to want to beat nature by grabbing it, taking it, and running with it, then you would have to meet a bigger force to contend with. And I bet you can never win the force of nature. You cannot do that. So we hope for a good political space in Nigeria where people will be voted for with respect to their character, with respect to what they have on ground, and not coerced to vote and respect you because of what you are bringing to the table just to convince and confuse them. That's my take on my 2 cents with Igwe Henry. And I'll see you on another episode. And remember, we'll be launching live on YouTube very soon. So you can go to our YouTube page at my 2 cents with Igwe Henry to subscribe and have an inside scoop on not just political issues, but social, entertainment, and many other issues that are trendy in Nigeria, in Africa, and across the world. So let's form a community and hope that we would make the world a better place. Have yourself a splendid day. Bye-bye.